Okay, we are live. I want to say hi to everybody. Welcome back to another episode of So Get This, and I want to introduce my very special guest, Ms. NICKI AYCOX, also known as Meg from Supernatural, and is also a very accomplished musician. So please get your questions ready. We're going to be chatting with NICKI about not only her role in Supernatural, but she has a very diverse career, and we're going to touch on every single part of that, and she's ready to go. So let the games begin. Hey, Nikki!
Hello, how are you? How is everybody, I guess?
Oh, I hope we're all doing well. I hope we're all doing well out there. I am so excited. Okay, well, I will start with my questions, if that's
Okay.
cool with you. Okay, so when you first set out to do Supernatural, what were your expectations going into the show versus the reality of after what you actually experienced?
Yeah. During that time, I had already been working quite a bit, and so I think that it was very common when you went on to a show and it was as new as what Supernatural was at the time. By that time, I had trained myself not to have expectations because, shows would come, they go, they work, they don't work. Sometimes they look great when you read them on the script and they seem like they're going to be a really awesome show, and then they don't turn out so great, because there's a lot that goes into making them. And sometimes you'll read something and think, I don't really see this being that appealing, and then the show does great. So at a certain point, to keep yourself sane and to survive, you sort of decide when you do a new show that you're not going to have any expectations, and so therefore, anything that happens, if it's good, it's sort of extra. And I was at that point then. So I didn't know much about the show. I thought it read great. I thought it looked great. I thought, this could be a really great show. But you don't want to get your heart set or your hopes up. And so I went in with just a very open attitude. And I think that as far as what it's turned out to be, I could definitely see that it was going to be a very strong, popular show if it was able to find its audience. And I was right about that, because obviously now look at the show and it found its audience. And so it's done everything that I knew that it could, and then some. And I think also working with Jared and Jensen at that time, that was a big part of what was telling me that the show would do well, because they just had a charisma and wonderful positive attitudes, and it just really caused the set to be very positive and everyone to be very positive and loving coming to work. And so when you have two leads of a show that are that strong and charismatic and wonderful people to be around, and it's a good script and it's a good idea and concept, it's going to do great. And they did, so, which I couldn't be more thrilled with.
Did you find it hard being, as you appeared in more and more episodes, the true nature of your character was revealed? Did you find it hard to be such a badass towards people that in real life you just really had warm feelings towards?
No. The easiest thing to do. Yeah, no, it's all fun and games, and I think when it gets to that point, the more outrageous it can get, because you're working with a storyline that it's better the more dynamic each character is, the more contrast. One's good, one's bad, and so it makes it a lot of fun because you're allowed to kind of not be yourself and play. It's like, it's pretend, you go to set and you pretend, and the guys, I'm from Oklahoma, they're from Texas, and so we kind of had the same upbringing as far as cultural, how we were, and so it was really just fun and games every day when we were on set, and we just kind of so well, what are we gonna do today? And I said, well, I don't know. Let's tie you guys up on the poles there and kind of dance around you and do this scene. So they were fine with it. But we had a lot of fun.
That's great. That's great. I just want to pick out some people here in the chat room that are saying hi. We've got Carrie saying hello, and Emily, who is also the behind-the-scenes instigator guru. And
Okay.
we have Sukio also saying hi. Actually, she said howdy.
Howdy.
And I also just wanted to give a couple of quick shout outs to our friends, the Winchester brothers out on Twitter. They're at Winchester BROS. They're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
I'd like to say hi to them too. I love them. They're awesome.
oh my goodness, I read their tweets like it's Shakespeare. That they're incredible. Okay, so everybody out there, we need some questions. Get them ready, get them ready. And we're going to have 2 giveaways, by the way, that I wanted to mention. The first will be for this piece that I designed based on somebody named Meg Masters. And it's called The Complexity of Meg Masters because I found her character to be extremely complex, multidimensional. So this will be one of the giveaways, and the second giveaway will be a $50 credit towards any jewelry in my shop. So gotta hurry up. And you gotta be logged in.
Yeah, everybody get ready.
All right. You've been in movies, you've been on TV, you've been on stage. Do you have a preference as to which forum you prefer?
Not anymore. I think now it's if I have a preference, it is based completely on when I read the material. If I like it, if I feel, if I love it, if I feel like I can do something with it, and that there's room for me to create. And so, it used to be kind of where television and film were these sort of separate things. You didn't do television if you did film and vice versa. But I think nowadays the level of television has really stepped up in the material and how they're making their shows, and so they're very comparable to films now. So, I think that you can do a really great television series and you can do a really great film that's interesting. Theater, I always love to do. I've never lost a love for theater. But they're all very different. But I don't prefer. I prefer more to just really feel like I can do something creative with the material. That's how I feel. Did I lose you?
Uh-oh. Okay. That, but we had a little bit of a glitch. He's still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here. So yeah, I was just in it. I really don't decide whether if it's a movie I'll do it, or if it's theater, or if it's film, or TV. I base everything on when I read the actual material and the character, and if I feel like I can bring something to it and enjoy myself while I'm there, then I'm happy to do it.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And we have a question from our audience. Sukio, she is asking, how did it feel to be brought back in season 4 to play the actual human Meg Masters and not the demon possessing her?
Oh, that's a good question. There was, I had to kind of rethink. It wasn't something I could just do and go back and base it on what I had done previously. It was kind of a whole new character. I mean, I had to keep certain aspects because obviously, the whole storyline of the show was kind of the same. But as far as the character, I had to, 4 years later, kind of decide what I thought the human aspect of this person was, when I really was just sort of, focused on the demon side. But after I thought about it for a while, I thought, well, maybe this isn't so difficult. If I can just remember, how I started off in the series when we didn't know that Meg was a demon yet, and maybe I can rewatch that, and then I can build from there whenever I go back and I'm on set. So that's basically what I did. So there was a definite period of work that went into going back to play the character in that way.
Well, thank you for that. You were involved with music from a very early age.
Yes.
What kind of music and musicians inspire you?
At the time, whenever I was young, my dad is in the oil field business in Oklahoma, and I would go with him to his locations. I would ride around in his truck as a little girl, like bouncing around in the truck. And he would listen to Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson and June Carter Cash, and so I started hearing those sounds from a very young age, and I loved June Carter Cash from the moment that I had heard her as a kid. Just the rawness and the organic truthfulness of her voice. And so as I got older and I got more into music, I really kind of turned into this loving people like Edith Piaf and these cabaret singers. And so I think now that I'm doing my own and I'm writing my songs, I'm kind of pushing the two together and kind of marrying these old raw sounds that I heard from Oklahoma with these European cabaret singers and whatnot. So Edith Piaf has been a very big inspiration right now. And there's also a lot of just old folk music from the 20s and early century that I really pull from when I'm writing. So it's not really current stuff today where, you know, I think a lot of people recognize the names. I definitely listen to music from the 20s and the 30s and that.
That is very unusual for someone of our generation to pull from that time period. That's great, and it's so refreshing too. It really is.
To give it a modern sound as well. You know, I try to mix it with sounds that are modern and try to put the two genres together. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work at all. But, you know, gotta try.
It sounds like it's a lot of fun trying, huh?
It is a lot of fun, yes. It's I have very fun days just sitting around playing my instruments, and it's very soothing. And I tell you, music is wonderful in this way. If I am playing all day and kind of practicing, I just have such a much more calm, you know, demeanor about myself. And I notice when I don't play for a couple of days, I kind of get stressed and I feel like, oh yeah, I need to play. It'll help me out. So it was interesting to see that happen.
That's true. When you have that creative energy and you just have to have an outlet for it, absolutely, or else it does start to affect you emotionally, even physically.
Down and reading a book, you know, so those things just help so much when you get really stressed, and I think we all forget, and then we get really stressed, and then finally we sit down and read a book, and then we go, oh yeah, I feel better now.
Okay, we have a couple more questions from our audience. We have passenger, which means you're not logged in. If you want to enter these contests, we're going to start. You have to be logged in. The question is, I feel so bad for human Meg. Do you think she died angry at the Winchesters for, you know, throwing her out a window?
Sorry about my little dog who owns my home.
No apologies. We welcome her.
Yeah, you can't tell her no. I mean, you can, but it doesn't work. That's a great question. Did I feel like she was angry with the Winchesters? I don't see that because I always felt like Meg really, that there was always a piece of her human side that was still present. It was just a very small piece, and she was just not in control. But I had always imagined that she was kind of, it was like an out-of-body experience for her, the human Meg. It was an out-of-body experience. There was her doing all of these things, but she had no control because she only owned a piece of herself. And so I think that the human Meg did in my mind, did understand that they were doing what they were doing to survive. And, you know, that she was sad because she was not capable of of keeping all of these horrendous things happening to these boys. So I just never really saw it. I never really saw Meg as someone who had any hard feelings towards him. If anything, she had much love, but it wasn't in control of what she was doing. So there's a sweet person in Meg, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Which I think was not, gave her a contrast. It gave, it made her dynamic. It made her have a lot of different things going on. So she wasn't just mean. She wasn't just psycho. She wasn't just possessed. She also she was possessed, but there was also a very sweet girl in there as well.
Well, thanks to your character, that's how they were actually able to introduce that into the supernatural world of what it means to be a demon, what it means to be possessed. We learned through you that there's actually a human being in there behind the scenes, trapped. And I think that you portrayed that impeccably. We have a very interesting question here from Jessie. She wants to know if you spoke to Rachel Miner about the character at all.
I didn't know Rachel at the time. I met Rachel for the first time at Vegas Con, Creation. Creation event in Vegas, and I believe it was last year in March, maybe February. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was stuck in the vendor's room. I missed it.
Oh, you did? Okay, so I met her there for the first time, and it was just like I had known her my whole life. Like they really went and hired somebody that had a very similar personality. She's just one of those girls that I would sit down with and just talk for hours. And I feel like I would tell her anything, and I only had to know her for 5 minutes, And she's just such a trustworthy, honest, non-judgmental woman who you can tell is just one of those friends that she'll be there, anytime you need her. And but I didn't know her when she started the character, so I hadn't talked to her.
It's really interesting because there's such a transparency between the two of you, how she did a very good, what's the word I'm trying to articulate here? Basically, she took the character that you created and she stayed true to that character. Because you laid down a very strong foundation, which was really amazing, and to see that carry through with another actress too was great, and that couldn't have happened without having a really strong foundation to make that believable, that it's the same demon transporting from meat suit to meat suit,
Yeah. Yeah, well, she was no amateur actress, that's for sure. She's a really fantastic, wonderful actress, and so it doesn't surprise me at all. I had just started, I've been catching up on Supernatural now, and I've just started seeing some of her, and I just thought, wow, she knew exactly how to come in and give the character something of her own as well. Because when you come in and take over somebody's character, you don't want to just copy what the other person does. I mean, that's no fun. Like you don't want to do that. You want to put your own in there, but you have to kind of, like you said, you have to sort of build off of what that person already had so that you can stay true to that character for the audience's sake because they want to see it. And so it's a very fine line that you're walking when you're trying to do that, and it's a really hard thing to do. And she did it beautifully. I mean, you have to be a fantastic actor to be able to do that. So they picked the right woman on that one.
Well, what I'd like to do now very quickly is get our first giveaway underway. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask a trivia question. Now, if you've won anything from me at all since the show's aired, we've only been on the air for about a month now, you're not eligible, even if you have the right answer, because we did have someone who's won 2 weeks in a row, which I'm thrilled about, but we got to make it fair. So my question is, and I know you know the answer to this, when Sam and Dean were trying to get the location of John Winchester out of Meg in her last dying breath? What did she say? Where was he? It was one word. The first person
I
to
remember.
the first person to answer that question correctly, no typos either. I'm a grammar guy. You
I'm
will.
surprised. I'm surprised you still have me on the show after you read some of my emails. If you're so picky with grammar, I'm just.
You're just fine. It's so funny because I get on everybody, and then people point out the mistakes I make, and I'm mortified.
That's what happens.
Exactly. While we're waiting for folks to answer that, I would like to ask you, how you mentioned Edith Piaf and a strong country music background that's very influential to you. Do you have a particular genre that you prefer to perform when you're on a stage versus what you're playing at home? Is there something that just resonates more with you out there on a stage?
Yes, I have I like very simple playing. I guess I'm more of a storyteller who happens to carry her guitar around, I think. I like simple rhythms and simple beats. Like I really like bossa rhythm, and I like waltzes, and but I like to have very strong words and are very strong lyrics. And I always like for the music to sort of have a nice underbeat to it. So I think when I perform, I don't like to hear a lot of noise going on. I just like to have these simple sounds and a good story told over it. And I think that kind of goes into the genre of what I'm doing, the cabaret style, the folk, kind of marrying cabaret style and folk music. Like for instance, Leonard Cohen is one of my favorites. I don't even think I would have picked up the guitar if it hadn't been for listening to him the way that I did. And his music really is what got me to finally pick up a guitar and learn how to play it and start trying to tell my own stories through music. So I guess the genre is folk, but it's married with old 20s cabaret and also songs that people would sing in towns, you know, at their local bar or something, you know, like people would have their little chants for their town, or old communities, gypsy style music, which I really love. Yeah, so that's what I like to do.
Dylan is screaming at me. The more I hear you talk about it, having the strong lyrics and the stories with over the music, I keep, for some reason, I keep thinking, you know, that reminds me so much of Bob Dylan too. Does that sound something, or am I off base there?
No, very much. You know, Bob Dylan and anybody who's going to tell a strong story and complement it with their instrument. That is, you know, what I do. I tend to, Olive, I wish that you wouldn't do that right now. Sorry, that's my dog. I tend to use darker chords like Leonard Cohen does. I like the contrast in Leonard Cohen's music where the chords are dark and the music is dark and even the lyrics are dark. But if you really listen to his lyrics and you read them, you realize that he's actually just got a very good sense of humor. And a lot of it is play and fun, and a lot of it is jokes and kind of just joking about life. And it's obvious that even though he was a musician who obviously, you know, was in his head a lot, he also laughed at himself. And so that's what I like to do. I like to take these darker chords and sort of dark songs, haunting songs, and tell kind of a story that has all of this irony in it at the same time. I'm not your normal musician, I guess.
That's good. That's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Being not normal is a good thing. We have a winner of the necklace. Jessie has the answer. Sunrise.
Yeah. Nice.
Very good.
What,
Congratulations. All right, so Jesse, I'm just going to quickly type my email address into the chat window. And there we go. And just make sure you email me your, please make sure you put the Meg Masters necklace in the subject and email me your address, and I will have that out for you soon.
necklace inspired by Meg?
I'm sorry?
What is her prize again? I wanted to see it again.
Oh yeah, it's the necklace inspired by Meg. It's sea glass that I framed in silver and then I wire wrapped it.
Ooh, hopefully I can see Jessie at a con sometime and I can sign it for her.
Yes, that would be incredible. Actually, the next time you do a con is when?
I'm not up for any right now, no. I do have one later in the year, but I'm not allowed to say where.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to do most of them, so at some point you and I will connect because I want to give you your own.
Oh, great. Yes, well, we need to let creation know. I'm all for it. I would love to do some, so.
Absolutely, because I'm telling you, so many, because I do so many of these conventions, and I'm always hearing from fans, oh, we miss her. Why doesn't she do these? And you know, so it would be fantastic to get to see you.
Please tell them I want to. I'm all for it. So.
You got it. You hear that, everybody? We need to campaign Creation Entertainment. We need Nikki at these conventions. Okay, so that's a good segue to my next question. Do you have any upcoming projects you'd like to talk about?
You know, right now I've been talking quite a bit about it, but it's what I've been doing every day. I'm continuing to write these songs. This is a set of 9 to 12 songs. And I'm tweeting out to fans, so the more fans that follow me, it's really great because in each song we're picking out a unique instrument that I would like to hear in the song, and I'm tweeting out if there are any players, and if I find a player, then I talk with them over Skype and I work through the song with them, and then I have them recorded in whatever city they are, and we mix it into the track. So each fan is in a song that I'm doing, and we will,
I'm sorry, I'm just saying that is such a great idea.
It's been awesome. I've met some really talented people over Twitter that are fans. It was just amazing. I've met a woman in New York. She goes by Saw Lady. Her name is Natalia Peruz, and she did my first song, Wailing Crow, which is on SoundCloud under my name. I'm doing another one, a waltz, and I'm talking with Dave, SPN Dave on Twitter. He's in Manchester with a string quartet. I mean, I have found some really amazing musicians, and you know, we're just kind of moving forward and trucking forward, and here soon I should be looking for some more instrumentalists. We just haven't quite decided on the instruments yet. But the plan is once I finish the set, we would then like to take cameras on the road and go to each person, each fan's hometown, and do a little short featurette piece on them of how their lives are in their community as the musician that they are. So, for instance, we went and filmed Saw Lady in New York, and we followed her around for 2 days and got her story and who she is and how she is a saw player in New York City, and put those things together and make a nice little feel-good documentary about it.
Oh, that sounds incredible! I can't wait to see the end results of that. That's really exciting. Would you ever consider releasing pieces of it? Would you ever consider releasing pieces of it?
I'm going to. I'm working on the website right now so that I can put together what we have. We've already done a full kind of piece of what we would do on Natalia, Saw Lady in New York, and we are editing that together right now so that we can create a website so everyone can see what we're doing and they can see the look of it and all of that. So, you know, hopefully the goal is that I can get as many wonderful fans to interact as possible, you know, and like I said, we talk about the recording and how to get them recorded, and we discuss all the details over Skype with me, and try our best to make it work. And it's just meant to be a really positive, fun experience. And also, I want to show the world that just because you don't have an agent or a studio or a record label does not mean that you're not a talented musician. And I'm finding out that that's very true, because I've met some people that are wonderful musicians in their own right.
Wow, that's really exciting. Very exciting. We have some comments from our audience.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we've got a lot of shout-outs for cities that they want you to appear in. We've got Dallas, we've got Vancouver. And Heather wanted to let you know that she is in love with your Chaplin painting.
Yeah, he's my creative muse. I was telling her earlier that anytime I feel creatively stumped, I just come here and like look at Charlie like this for a little bit, and then I go, oh, I got an idea. Okay.
Well, it's a very intense Charlie painting. He's in deep thought there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do, because I get creatively stumped a lot, so he's got to sort of keep thinking to constantly get me back. Poor Charlie. But I've had him for about 20 years. I'm not joking. I got him on the street in Hollywood, near the Hollywood Bowl, about 20 years ago, and he's followed me everywhere I've been since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We've got a question from Emily, and what we'd like to know is, what was your favorite line as Meg?
Oh, it's always, and it's because of the word. I think it was, that's so lackluster, man. Do you guys remember that one?
Underwhelming was another one I loved.
Yeah. There were there's always lots of great one-liners, but I just remember I said, oh, that's lackluster, man. And I had never used the word lackluster in my entire life. And then once I used I use it all the time now. It's such a great word.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, we have a question from Sukio, who wants to know, how is it like working with Jim Beaver, who only was supposed to be in one episode, and then 4 years later seeing he was still there?
Yeah, well, I think the thing about Jim Beaver is that I couldn't imagine anyone thinking that they would work with him once and that would be it. Olive. And that, because when you meet him, I think it's impossible not to want to hold on to him. He's got such great energy, and he's just one of those people that you want to be around. So it does not surprise me that he was supposed to do one episode and then they just kept him on. I really enjoy any time that I'm around Jim. I just saw him not too long ago. I'd gone to a con in London, well, actually in Birmingham, but and I was on the train with them and just giggling like it hadn't been forever since we've seen each other, just kind of pick up where you left off. But yeah, he's one of the best people to be around with on set. That's awesome. For sure.
That's awesome. I got some quirky questions that I have to ask of all my guests, of course.
I'm all like, for me, quirky questions. I love for you. Okay, I love quirky questions.
My quirky question number 1 is, what is your guilty pleasure?
It's so embarrassing. I shouldn't say it.
That's what makes guilty pleasure. What?
Hershey's chocolate bars.
Bars. That's not so bad.
But I have another one that's really bad that I started this year. I hadn't watched it. Oh my goodness! I watched my first Bachelor this year, and I kept saying to myself, no more. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to do it again. And every Monday night, there I am watching it, and I know that it's rotting my brain. I know that it is, and I keep doing it anyway. So I'm going to finish this now, and then I'm going to throw the television out every Monday night from this point forward.
It's so funny. Whenever I ask somebody that question, it always comes down to a reality show. It's just a matter of which one. It's so funny.
It's so embarrassing. Watching The Bachelorette eating Hershey's chocolate bars. It's really embarrassing if you guys can imagine it. But yeah, I sat down and I watched this first one, and my first reaction to it was, wow, these people make out a lot. They just all make out all the time. And I was like, that's so weird. And so I thought the next day, I'm not going to watch that again. And then the next Monday, there I am with a Hershey's chocolate bar watching The Bachelor.
Double trouble.
I'm so embarrassed. Nobody, I shouldn't say this now. Nobody tell anyone.
I will make sure that no one on the internet knows about that. No one that's watching.
Learn Hershey bar Monday nights. Okay.
Oh, wow. Do you have a favorite quote?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to get stumped on them whenever I just, like, when you get asked something and you're like, I do, but what would it be? Come back to me on that one.
Will do.
Oh, wait, I know. Now I do have one. Here's a good one for you. This one people might not hear that much because this one comes from a very good friend of mine. His name is Brian Smittle, and he will always say to me when we get off the phone, Nikki, and I said, yes. He says, you are a wonderful person, and don't let anyone ever tell you differently. So I'll just make that one up. You can have that one.
Okay, cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. There's nothing wrong with affirmations. You need that.
Anytime somebody is, somebody feel like someone needs a boost, you just say you're a wonderful person and don't let anyone tell you different.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very positive. Very upbeat. We need more of that. Okay, complete this sentence. All you need is...
You cut out.
Oh, okay. My question is, complete this sentence. All you need is...
My husband and my dog.
Aww. Sweet. Very, very sweet.
Yeah. If I was on an island and nothing else was there, I would want my husband and my dog.
Okay, I'm just trying to read through some of our audience, what they want. Oh, okay. We got a lot of Hershey's Kisses comments, and Heather said, "Let her know the voice is back on now." Oh, okay. I guess she's.
Because you guys want to shift me to some better reality TV. I can see this. Everybody's trying to get me out of my dungeon hole with The Bachelor. That's a good suggestion. I appreciate that. I should try The Voice instead if I'm going to do anything.
Oh, apparently we have a member of the audience who did not realize you're married and has written #dreams shattered. So you've broken a heart tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now I feel bad. I guess I should have kept that secret, but I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, passenger, you're not logged in, so we can't. I don't know who posted that comment, but whoever. Nikki's sorry. My heart bleeds for you as well. And Cynthia wants to know what type of dog Olive is. What kind of dog is she?
Olive is, we think, we got her as a rescue. Oh, she's coming to say hi. Let's see so I can show everybody. Come here. You want to show everybody you? Huh? You want to show? Look at there. There. She's a rescue, and we believe she's so furry during the winter. Oh, look at your hair. She is, I think, a Yorkie Chihuahua mix. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. Well, she's adorable.
Thank
Very
you.
adorable.
Lots of fun. Oh, thank you so much. I love you.
She loves her mommy.
Yes, she does. She does.
Okay, and I have another question. If you were stranded on an island and you could only have one supernatural character with you, who would it be and why?
Oh, only one?
Yeah.
Well, I can't choose between Jared or Jensen then, so because that wouldn't be fair. Is there a way to put Jared and Jensen together? I guess not. That's not fair. What about
Yeah,
Cass?
for you, I will. For you, I'll allow it.
Okay, them two together on the island, or maybe Ruby. I would take Ruby.
Ruby's cool.
Yeah.
Ruby's cool.
Yeah.
That would work. That would be an interesting dynamic, wouldn't it?
That would be. That would be.
Let's
I
see,
think that you guys need to start writing up mock stories about what it would be like on a deserted island with Ruby and Meg. That would be really interesting. I'd like to see that. And tweet them to me.
I am sure in this fandom someone's already written that.
Yeah. So if you guys have written that, please tweet it to me because I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
We would love to see a Meg meets Ruby situation, how that would go down. Very, very cool.
I want 5 pages of a scene.
That would be great. Now, and we have to keep it, like PG also, because I don't know if you know anything about what goes on in the fanfic realm here, but wow.
Yeah, get out of control. You just can't trust people, can you? You just can't trust people.
Yeah, Jessie's writing in. She's pretty sure that fan fiction already exists.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to take another minute to send out a few more shout-outs, if that's okay with you. I wanted to send a shout-out to our graceful hosts, Insticator, who can be followed at Insticator_INC. Also, my dearest friend, Chicky and Bean. Please follow her on Twitter at Chicky and Bean. And I just wanted to also announce that Chicky and Bean has just opened their own shop on Etsy. They are making some incredibly kick-ass supernatural-inspired shirts, and she's also venturing into onesies and all that other stuff. Great stuff. Please check her out. If you go to Etsy, just type in Chicky and Bean in the search engine, and you will find her shop. I don't know it off the top of my head, and I don't think she's in the audience tonight, so just want to get that out there.
Oh. Well, that's go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was going to just ask our audience to come up with some more fantastic questions. They've been doing really well.
Well, I have a question for the audience in a way. I had over Twitter, I guess a couple weeks ago, somebody had asked me about T-shirts and that there was a T-shirt for me for sale on Amazon, but it was like $100 or something, which completely blew my mind. And so I was thinking that I might have some T-shirts made up for way cheaper. To send out for people because I just think $100 is ridiculous. Olive, stop please. Thank you. So if you guys would be interested in a T-shirt, tweet me, let me know, and I'm going to give it some thought about having an awesome picture and doing a T-shirt.
That would be really, really cool. So guys, spread the word. Spread it out on Twitter and get a hold of Nikki.
Yes. And I will not give it $100.
My daughter is making.
My lipstick on.
She's doing her whatever happened to Baby Jane impersonation.
You do have lipstick on, don't you? Nice. Pretty.
Yeah, that's Meg, and she just said you're very pretty. What do you say?
Thank you.
Yeah, and she's wearing Doctor Who, so she's evicted from the supernatural room. I love you. Bye. I'll see you in a little while.
Ah!
She's adorable.
Thank you. I think it's time to do our second giveaway.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, so, okay. I struggled with the second question. I have two, and I think I'm going to go with, okay, when Sam and Meg were on the road hitchhiking, and the van pulls up, and the van driver says, I'm only going to take her. Sam says to Meg, you're going to trust creepy van guy over me? What does Meg say? So the the first person to reply who has not won anything from me, and if you just won tonight, Jesse, you can't answer this question, you will win a $50 credit towards any piece of jewelry in my shop. So,
someone answer?
I'm sorry.
Someone So I'm playing fetch. There you go. It's if my attention is taken away for too long, she doesn't like it. So we just play fetch while I'm talking to you.
Well,
just don't mind.
Multitasking works for me.
Did someone get it?
We're getting a lot of good good feedback about the shirts. People seem to be really psyched about the shirts, Nikki.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna get on this. I really am gonna get on this because nobody should have to spend $100 for a T-shirt.
No, that's crazy. Bullet the Jedi, I think, misunderstood. He thinks or she thinks that it's a used shirt that you wore. No, that's not what we're talking about.
No, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make the shirt. I'm gonna have the shirt made, a limited amount.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. I don't think I have any of my clothes from Supernatural. I might have a pair of pants. I feel like they gave me a pair of pants, but I am sure I'm not wearing them now.
You know what I loved about Meg's fashion? I loved how you had the layered necklaces, because of course I'm drawn to the jewelry, right? So you had, I think, like 3 different lengths of necklaces. I just thought that was kicking. It was amazing.
That's awesome. You know, I still do that. I think I still layer my necklaces. There's something great about having a long necklace and one that just kind of comes here and one that comes here. It's great. It's still great. I don't think it'll ever go out. I wonder if I have, I did have my necklaces over here, but no, they're not here now.
We have people who are saying their fingers are burning because they're not allowed to answer because they've already won.
Oh, and nobody's answered yet?
No, not yet. It's a one-liner. It's a one-word answer.
And I actually
fan guy over me.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is. You guys have to remember, this was 7 years ago for me or something. But I think I remember.
Wow. Yeah, we forget that. We forget that, you know, they're I think they're on season 2 now on the reruns on TNT. So that's what I've been doing all since last week, because I think I told you, we got hit with an ice storm, and I'm a teacher, so they shut my school down for like a week and a half. I have just been binge watching TNT and Netflix and oh goodness. So yeah, so I'm watching all the early episodes. Adam WVFX is asking what was the question. I will repeat the question because no one's answered it yet. The question is, when Sam and Meg were hitchhiking on the side of the road and a van pulled up and the van driver said he would only take Meg and not Sam, Sam says to Meg, "You trust creepy van guy over me?" And she says something in return. What was the one word she said? Don't remember. It was not what I expected. It was a great line. I think is a huge appeal to your character too is you deadpan beautifully.
Yeah, that's just a personality thing, actually. I think I do it to everybody. I don't even mean to. I don't know that I do it. I just do.
You do. I mean, one of the lines that always stuck out to me is when you're going after, I want to say you said this to John Winchester, and if I'm wrong, please no one out there shoot me. I believe you were saying to John Winchester when you said, "I'm going to rip the flesh from your bones." And you just said it so matter-of-factly, like, "I'm going to go have a Coke."
Yeah.
You said it with such...
Those were perfect. Those lines were set up perfectly for that. That's what I was talking about, having contrasting ideas and making things very dynamic. Like, if you're saying something like, "I'm going to rip your throat out," You know, it's so much, for me as an artist, it's so much more effective when I see an artist do that, and instead of going, I'm gonna rip your throat out, and just being like, I'm gonna rip your throat out. You know, like just so matter of factly. For me, that those two contrasting ideas makes it interesting for me to watch. I'm still playing fetch, by the way.
That's fine. That's totally fine. We have a winner.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, Carrie, who I know very well. She's a very good customer of mine, and also a friend. Carrie, the answer is definitely. So you trust Creepy Van Guy more than me? Definitely. So congratulations, Carrie.
That's right. I remembered. Yay. Okay, here. Seriously?
So Carrie wins a $50 credit towards any of the jewelry in my shop. Very exciting. I'm glad it's going to go to a good home. And I would love for someone else to come out with another question. We just have a couple minutes left. I mean, this has been incredible, and Nikki has given us a double dose because we're usually only on the air for a half an hour, and she's been gracious to give us an hour here.
Oh, yeah, no, I love doing this. I really do, actually. I think for a long time with my career, I was so busy and going sets and sets and sets all the time that it was hard to take the time to get to know fans, really. And you know, since I've been doing this project and talking with fans over Skype and working with them on songs and things, I've realized, wow, I want to get to know them. So I've been doing a lot of this, and I have had an absolute blast. I love doing it. So.
Well, it's very, very great that you're so accessible to the fans, and I mean, it just brings a whole other human quality, you know, that everybody can see, and we really, really, truly do appreciate this. This is amazing. Well, I'm sorry. I'm distracted because I'm trying to, we've got some good comments coming in through the chat window, and I just want to make sure I've gotten everything. Oh, you've been forgiven, by the way, for being married, apparently. Passenger has been.
That was actually going to bother me. I don't like to give heartbreak. I don't. Maybe if you can get the person's name, I'll write them an apology song. Like, you know, like all those songs that have people's names in them, like Jessie or like Suzanne.
Oh, okay. His name is Adam. Okay, so you have to write an apology song for Adam.
Adam, okay, Adam, I will write you an apology song.
Awesome, awesome. So, if there were a song, and I know this is just something that popped into my head just now, so forgive me for even asking, but if there were a song that described your personality, what would, like a song that's out there, what would it be? What would a good description of your personality sound like?
There is a singer, and she's French, by the name of Karen Ann. I'm pretty sure she's French. She sings a song called My Name is Trouble. And I thought it. So you guys can all listen to it. She goes, My name is Trouble. It's all the way through the song. So my person is a mess. I just love that song, and yes, I think that it can describe me at times in my life. Although I will say that my trouble is always fun. It's never hurtful to any other human being. It's more on the fun side.
That's good. That's always good. That was a great answer. We have a question from Heather, and she wanted to know what episode had it. Now, I'm not sure. Is this a trivia question, Heather, or is this a question for Nikki? What episode had a very ironic title for Meg to appear in? When it comes to titles of the episodes, I am awful. I am awful. I don't remember them well. So I'm not sure, Heather, if that was actually for Nikki or if that was for the...
What was the question? If there was a title that was ironic?
Yeah, a title that was ironic for you to appear in.
I mean, there's Scarecrow, there's Devil's Trap. Devil's Trap?
Devil's Trap. Is that what you meant, Heather? Devil's Trap?
I'm trying.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And with only a couple minutes left, the world may know. Oh, she means Devil's Trap. Yes, yes, she confirmed that. Yeah. Okay, Nikki. So what does Nikki win from you, Heather?
Yeah. What do I get? Do I get a tweet from you, Heather?
Heather, you need to tweet Nikki. I think she deserves a prize. She answered your question, your trivia question, and pretty fast too. That was good.
So I just want to make it clear, since we only have a couple seconds left, in case you guys have noticed, I'm just going to make it call attention to it. I am aware that I have a safety pin in my glasses. Can everybody see that?
Oh!
In case everybody was noticing, and I'm going to hear a lot on Twitter about the fact that I have a safety pin in my glasses. I want to explain what happened here. I lost, obviously the screw that goes in the glasses. I lost it, and I was at my parents' house over Christmas at my dad's, and I asked him if he had one of those kits that have the screws, and then you can just screw in a new one. And he looked at me with this look on his face of kind of disgusted, and he said, no, just give them to me, give them to me. I said, okay, and so I gave him my glasses, and he went back in his bedroom, and he came back, and he had put this safety pin through them, and that was over Christmas last year. And I decided that it works so well that I don't really want to change it up. So I want to explain that now, so that everybody knows, and so you can make fun of me now since we all know what it is. But
we would never make fun of you. If anything, we thought it was just this really incredibly awesome fashion statement, and we would never make fun of you. We do have one last question. Jessie wanted to know if you had any upcoming roles.
I am really pretty thick and deep into my documentary and the project with fans and making the music right now. I do have some people that I've been talking to that I've worked with before. So there might be some things coming through, but I don't want to say for sure, because obviously they're not for sure, and so I don't want to step on anybody's toes or get anybody in trouble. But until I know about any of them, for sure, I'm not going to make it public, and I'm going to keep working on my own project because I'm really into it. So I wish I could tell you more, Jessie, and I promise you the second that I'm able to, I will let you know.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we are just about out of time, and I am overwhelmed with gratitude. You have been an absolute pleasure to talk to this past hour.
Well, this has been great. A lot of fun. I really, really appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate all of you people out there who have asked questions and hung out with me this evening. It's a lot of fun, great questions, and I hope that I get to meet all of you at cons coming up. So
yeah, we got to get on the entertainment, the creation entertainment bandwagon and start harassing. That's what we need to do.
One thing I've learned about fans is that they can, the Supernatural family fans can, they get stuff done.
That they can. That they can. They're good.
If they want to.
Well, it would be amazing. We can make that happen. I feel good about that. I'm pretty sure we can. And we hope that one day you'll come back and hang out with us again on So Get This. This has been really fun.
Oh, yeah, well, I tell you, I'm going to get this song thing worked out. I figured out the things I need to do to be able to play over the internet for you. So when I get that worked out and I have a song that I want to share, I'll let you be the first to share it with people. So I will keep, you informed and get that set up, yes.
That would be so amazing. Let me tell you guys out there in the audience that Nikki worked so incredibly hard to try to figure out how to play a song live for us, but we just were not equipped technically to handle that. But wow, what a gift.
Yes, I'm working on it. And I'll sit here with Charlie, and we'll do a nice little funky song for everyone.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes. So it was great talking to you. I really had fun.
Yes, me too. Likewise, likewise. Thank you so much. And again, everybody, please follow Nikki on Twitter.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and if you guys have any questions,
SoundCloud. Check out Nikki Aycox on SoundCloud and listen to Waylon Crow if you haven't already heard it, so you can get an idea of music.
SoundCloud, awesome. Is that we could hear your music there too?
Yeah, if you just I have one song up right now, and I'm actually about to put out another one, but it's if you go to SoundCloud and you type in Nikki Aycox, then my song Waylon Crow will you should be able to go right to it. So, and you know what, I'll tweet out a link again right after this, so people, if you haven't had a chance to hear it, you can hear it.
That would be fantastic. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah, well, you have a great night. Give Olive a hug from all of us.
I will, and tell your daughter I said night-night, and that her lips.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
Tell her she has beautiful lips, and I'm going to go put on my red lipstick now.
Actually, she just heard you. Thank you so much. You have a great night.
Night-night.
Okay, well, thank you all for watching and hanging out with Nikki and me, and I hope you had a great time. And that was Jaden. Jade, come say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. No one can see you. Now they can. Well, they can kind of see you. He's kind of doing his the ring thing with his hair. This is my daughter Raven, who
There's my shirt.
needs lipstick lessons, and this is my son Jaden.
Epic fail.
Epic fail. That's me. Okay. Well, thank you all again for joining in. I'm trying to get some more fantastic guests on board for future episodes, but we will be right here, same bat time, same bat channel next week, and you will hear updates from me about what the topic will be and what the giveaways will be. Thanks, everybody, for watching and joining us, and have a great night. Bye.